Hello and welcome back. We're going to take a look at some packs from the 1991-92 NHL Series 2 Pro Set Platinum cards. And there's a lot of good ones in here. There's some pretty cool pictures too, as they're full color end-to-end across the cards. So let's crack open a brand new box. And let's start right here. We'll go bottom left. I wonder if there's any difference between, the different stacks and if there are different odds there for what we get, but we'll start here and see what we can find. And as you know, or are learning, up here we have our podium. As we pull cards from the packs, the better card will go on the podium until there's only one standing at the end. If we find a really good card, it gets the horn. And if we find a not so good card, it gets the other horn. So with that, let's open up our first pack and see what we've got. All right. So we'll put them down like that. So here we have the Campbell Conference. And so what we're looking for are going to be a couple different cards. There's some celebrity captains like Mr. Rogers. We have the Karate Kid. And then there's some really good players too, like Pavel Bure and Dominik Hasek and some of the big names. So let's kind of see what we've got. Then we'll go through card by card. And I believe we'll do this because these cards, since they are full gloss on the front, they stick together a little bit. So I'll probably keep them in the hand as we go. And we have Gary Galley, Derek King. There we go. Sergi Momesso. Ron Sutter. Brad McCrimmon. Corey Forster of the Philadelphia Flyers. And we have Brian Bradley. And Brian Trottier. And Clint Malarchuk. All right, so nothing huge there. Nothing that hits the podium just yet. On to number 2. And we're getting better at opening up these packs here. All right, Steve Larmer. Jamie McCown. Scott Mellenby. Peter Bondra. Vladimir Ruzeka. Andre Lomikin of the Flyers. Brent Gilbrist of the Montreal Canadiens. Stu Barnes of the Winnipeg Jets. Benoit Hogue of the New York Islanders. Brian Proff of the Minnesota North Stars. Joe Murphy, Edmonton Oilers. And Mike Howe, Quebec Nordiques. All right, so some good players, though we're looking for some specific ones, some celebrity captains, so it's been pretty quiet. And what I have noticed is when packs get real quiet like that, especially when you're opening up a couple in a row, usually something good is on the way. So Will that come to pass? We don't know, but we will soon find out. And it starts with Peter Zezel. And we've got Jeff Hackett, David Bruce, Dmitry Kilbrich, Jim Peck, and there we go, Pavel Bure. We hit one, just as we were talking about. Usually something good comes along when it's been quiet, and there we go. Great card, great player. He will definitely go onto our podium. So now we're moving. We're in the game. We're on the board. And we've got Stephen Leach. Donald Audette. Paul Eiserbert. John Ogrodnik of the New York Rangers. And Bertie Nichols of the Edmonton Oilers. All right, moving along. Let's see if we can get a Sergei Federov or a Dominik Hasek, or maybe even a Mr. Rogers himself. He's been known to make appearances every now and then, both in his neighborhood and our neighborhood. Pat Falloon. David Wheaton, Celebrity Captain. All right, now we're starting to get some Celebrity Captain cards. That's pretty cool. We'll put them into a group together. And Jim Kelly. All right. That's a cool Celebrity Captain card there. So we'll keep him in our celebrity grouping. Dan Quinn. Randy Burridge. Russ Romanowski. Nope. Russ Romanek. There we go. Claude Lapointe of the Quebec Nordiques. Don Sweeney of the Boston Bruins. Jeff Sanderson of the Hartford Whalers. Gary Roberts of the Calgary Flames. Ulf Dahlen of the Minnesota North Stars. And Sergei Nemchinov of the New York Rangers. All right, that was a pretty good one. Let's see what we've got coming up. We want something big. We want the razzle and the dazzle. All right, we found one. Here we have Ralph Macchio, otherwise known as the Karate Kid. Celebrity Captain of the New York Islanders. That's a great one. I think he may take our podium spot. He's done a lot. I think he deserves it. Next we have Susan St. James, Celebrity Captain of the Hartford Whalers. That gives us 2 celebrity captains in a row. That's pretty cool. Following another one, Gaetan Boucher, Celebrity Captain. This is crazy. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 celebrity captains in a row in the same pack, but we're doing it. That's a fun surprise. We're heating up. We got Joseph Beranek of the Edmonton Oilers. Alexander Godinchuk, 251 of the Calgary Flames. All right, Dominik Hasek. Let's get it. Another good one. This is a very solid pack. We'll put him in our great pile there. Alexander Mogilny. And Teppo Nieminen. Kirk McLean from that great Canucks team. Kay Whitmore of the Hartford Whalers. And Vyacheslav Fetisov of the New Jersey Devils. We're getting a couple of those horizontal landscape photos there. And Darian Hatcher of the Minnesota North Stars. Pretty good. I think so far it has been a good run. But let's see what else we can get. Finding those 3 celebrity coaches back to back to back in the same pack, that was pretty unexpected. So I wonder what else lies unexpected. And we'll start with Brian Proff. He's PC 17. That's a insert set. I think there are about 20 cards in that from this year. There's about 10 in Series 1 and 10 in Series 2. So this is going to be one of those Series 2 ones. So we'll hold on to that. And we got Jim Belushi, celebrity captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. Another great card. We are continuing our run of celebrities. Craig Billington. Good goalie shot there. Kevin Todd. All right. Artis Irbe. San Jose Sharks, Platinum Prospect. Very good goalie. Let's make sure we... There we go. Nice. All right. Sergei Federov. Here we go. We're pulling good one after good one after good one. So I think that is definitely going to join our grouping there. All right. We're doing very well so far. We got Randy Wood of the Buffalo Sabres. And when it comes to value, because I know that's important too, part of what we're doing is going through these cards to see what has value, what does not. So what I could do is I'll mention some of the values of the cards that may have more value. It depends on what, grading they get, raw, maybe just a couple bucks for the better ones. But anything not mentioned is going to be around $1 or so. And that is only usually if someone's buying singles to complete a set, because I think you can get a whole set of these for like 15 bucks. But if you're looking for a specific one, around $1. And then when you get into the graded ones, those prices can vary a lot. And so I'll mention kind of the PSA 10 grades. And other than that, you can generally assume that they'll be around, $1 or so as singles. Mikhail Tatarinov. We have John Cullen. And Marty McSorley. And Peter Ahola from the LA Kings. All right, on we go. We are doing very well so far. Let's see. Whoop. Dropping some already. All right, Mikhail Anderson. And we got Brett Hull. All right. Great card there. And followed up by a St. Louis Blues teammate, Paul Cavallini, number 224 on the card. And Larry King, celebrity captain. Welcome to the show. That's another great one there. Dave Manson, Edmonton Oilers. Vladimir Konstantinov of the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings had a really solid team around that time. They had Federov, I think Lidstrom. And then here's Cliff Ronning of the also very good Canucks team at that time. They had Kirk McLean as the goalie. Pretty good. Bob Carpenter of the Bruins. Dale Hunter of the Washington Capitals. Larry Murphy of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Alexei Gusarov of the Quebec Nordiques. And Wayne Presley of the San Jose Sharks. I often look at that quickly and think Wayne Gretzky. They're very similar, though they are different. All right, next one up. We have, let's see, what are we could want? Like we're looking for, maybe a Mr. Rogers. Because we got Federov, we got Hasek, we got Bure, we got the Karate Kid. This is a really good stack. Let's see if we can get a Mr. Rogers coming up, joining the crew. Curtis Joseph. That's a cool picture right there. Nice overhead shot. Troy Murray. Darian Shannon. And what do you know? When you ask, you may receive. We have Mr. Rogers. Celebrity Captain, card 297. I'm going to gently turn him over and give him the fire because he deserves it. Unbelievable. Oh, but does Mr. Rogers overtake the Karate Kid? I don't know. There's so many good here. We're going to leave the Karate Kid up and tuck Mr. Rogers aside, but that is awesome. This stack, I think, has everyone we've been looking for. And we got Burton Cummings, Celebrity Captain of the Winnipeg Jets. We're rocking. We are rolling. Good stack. John LeClair. I think that was before his Flyers days. Tom Fergus, the Vancouver Canucks. Ray Shepherd of the Detroit Red Wings. And Jeff Bukaboom of the New York Rangers. Ron Francis with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Peter Stastny of the New Jersey Devils. And Corey Millen of the LA Kings. All right, one pack to go. We are already stacked. I don't know what could be in here, but what do you think could add to our group? What more could we ask for? Maybe a Doug Waite, maybe a Nicklas Lidstrom. Let's see what's here. I really don't even know what to ask for. We got the Wales Conference. We got Tony Amonte of the New York Rangers. Chris Terreri of the New Jersey Devils. All right, we got Marv Albert, Celebrity Captain of the New York Rangers. We're getting all the captains in this one. Pretty amazing. I think and there's actually a set of captains. I think there's 12. So I wonder how many of the 12 we've got. Let's take a look in a second. Claude Boivin of the Philadelphia Flyers. There we go. We were talking about Nicklas Lidstrom, and here he is. Card 253 of the Detroit Red Wings. I don't know if it's going to get much better than this. We've really gotten everybody. Actually, wait. I wonder if... I don't know if he's seen Doug Waite. This will be crazy if he comes up, but we've got so many players already. Eric Desjardins. Mike Bullard. And Adam Graves. And two more cards. We got a Claude Lemieux. And a Neil Wilkinson. All right. So incredible grouping. Now let's take a look at some of the ones we've got. Actually, let's take a look at some of our celebrity captains. We have David Wheaton, Susan St. James, Gaetan Boucher. It's 3. Jim Belushi, 4. Larry King, 5. Cummings, 6. Marv Albert, 7. We have Jim Kelly, 8. Ralph Macchio, 9. And we have... actually, let's do a little layout, because this is a wild amount to pull from one stack. So I think it's worth laying these out. And for some of these, I should probably sleeve them too as we're talking, so maybe I'll do that just to kind of keep that going well. But anyway, let's first lay these out, and then I think for the Jim Kelly, we have him here. I'll toss him in a sleeve just so we keep these a little bit protected as we go. And then I'll run through some values too. How about that? And so you can kind of see what may be what depending on the values that we have. So we have, in terms of celebrity captains, Mr. Rogers should be right around here now. And coming up, let's see where we've got. All right. Here he's sleeving in. All right, we got Mr. Rogers, and then we have maybe our champ of the day, the Karate Kid, still fighting hard, still making memories. That's how we do it. All right, so when we look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. 10 of the 12 celebrity captains from one stack. One stack in the box, 9 packs. That's pretty impressive. So that's one notable thing. In terms of value, they're not all going to have crazy value. I think some of the bigger ones may be the Jim Kelly at around $20 in a PSA 10. And then the Ralph Macchio, is around $60 in a 10. And the Mr. Rogers can be big, around $170 or so in a PSA 10. So we'll see what it comes out to. PSA 10s are very hard to come by, and the prices can drop significantly. I think Mr. Rogers in a 9 might be $20, and others kind of shift down as well. So who knows? But at least we've got some good starting points and a lot of the good coach cards here for us to check out. And then we'll take a quick look at the player cards. I thought that was pretty fun, though, to see all the coaches, because rarely do you ever get that many all consolidated in kind of one pack like that. So put these aside for now. And then we'll take a look at our player cards. And we got some really good ones. We got Nicklas Lidstrom, Sergi Federov, Dominik Hasek, and Pavel Bure. So overall, I think a really good, solid batch. Hope you had fun checking it out. Hope you learned something. And there you have it. Until next time.